Million-dollar question leading into this Super Bowl, man. Is the NFL rigged? Are you a believer? Are you the conspiracy theorist? Now, there's a difference between saying, hey, there might be human error where referees, and maybe it's not an error, maybe it's intentional, where referees are leaning more towards Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and giving them calls that they usually wouldn't give for another guy, which I'm in agreement with that. That happens. I mean, this happened with Tom Brady as well. There is no difference here. Okay, like Patrick Mahomes has become such an asset to the NFL to where, yeah, there probably is a couple referees across the league that tend to say, hey, you can do that type of hit on Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, but you ain't touching Patty like that. All right, we just ain't going for it. Here's the flag. All right, and I see that. But, after this game that the Chiefs played against the Bills, and there were two plays in that game that I actually saw, and I felt like that was kind of, like as far as spotting the ball, right? And I think it comes down to human error. And I believe in a year of 2025, there has to be a way to go about this better, more efficiently. Like there has to be a technology, which in 2015, the NFL talked about using a technology that's used in soccer, that's used in tennis. I think there's a couple other sports that it's used in where you're able to gauge distance of the ball and stuff like that. Now, maybe there's just a thing about football where, I look at it like this. No matter how advanced the world gets technology, there's always going to be jobs that you're just going to need humans to do. And with the NFL, you got a bunch of guys piled together. The ball might be in this arm or it might be in this arm. You might be stretching it out. Maybe it's down by your knees and in between your legs and the ball's kind of back a little bit. It might be one of those things where it's like, hey, we have to rely on humans and refs to just be able to try to locate that football and see and use the replay. And the technology wouldn't be able to sift through all those grown men bodies to see where the ball actually is. Okay, I get it. Because to me, there's no reason why the NFL wouldn't have already released such of a technology, being that we're in the year 2025 and they actually brought this up back in 2015. We're talking 10 years ago, and yet it still hasn't been implicated into the game. So, I mean, there's definitely something there. There's some kind of wall there that's blocking this from happening. And we have to deal with human error when you're talking about watching football. Another thing, and if I didn't make it clear enough, no, I do not believe the NFL is rigged. You can drop it down in the comments whether you believe it's rigged or not, but there's a couple reasons, major reasons why I feel like it's not rigged. I just can't fathom the facts of having a bunch of competitive grown men in a locker room and you're going in there telling them, hey, this is the night where we lose. This is the night where I need you to underperform. I need you to underperform. You're going to drop this pass. You're going to do this. This is not WWE. Okay. When I found out that WWE wasn't real, I was a huge wrestling fan as a young guy. 10, 11, 12, huge wrestling fan. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Sting, all that, right? All that. I was with all it. The moment I found out that they knew who was going to win the match before the match, weeks before the match was even going to happen, it took the excitement out for me. But I can see a league like WWE, I can see that being rigged because there's a lot of cut scenes and it's like a movie, like a reality TV show at the same time. You're buying into these characters. But the NFL is different. It's like legal war in the United States. You got grown men that are lining up across from each other and they're going out there and giving it their all and playing. You can't convince me that there's a way you can go in a locker room and tell these grown men, hey, we're going to drop this game because we need to make sure that Vegas gets their money. Now, like I stated earlier, is there referees that may lean towards certain teams or particular players and maybe throw flags more for this player than they do that player? I can see that, but I will say if they are doing that, they're not going to make it super obvious because they make over $200,000 to work 18 weeks a damn year. Would you risk that for what? to have a bet with Vegas and win a couple extra $1,000 or whatever the case may be. Like, it just isn't logical, in my opinion. I think this is another conspiracy, and this is where conspiracy theorists thrive, right? Today, I seen this on the internet. The Super Bowl score was leaked. February 9th, Chiefs win 41-38 against the Philadelphia Eagles. They even have how many points are going to be scored in each quarter. First quarter, it's going to be 7-7. Philly's going to score 17 to Kansas City 7. So they're going to actually, this is how much of a movie this sounds like. So they're going to literally go down by a lot. Then Kansas City's going to score 10 to Philly 7 in the third. And in the fourth quarter, Kansas City's going to roll and rumble and ride back and score 17 points to only the Eagles 7 points, which is going to make the final score of the 41-38. I mean, just a Cinderella story, isn't it? Now, if you can sit back and believe that the NFL is going to go out of their way to go through all of that, have these scripts, do all of this, hey, you're going to score a touchdown in the first quarter. I mean, hey, then we'll let them score, and then we're going to let them come back from 17 down. Like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, come on. We got to be serious. Again, if you feel like the refs lean a little more Kansas City, I can agree with that. No problem with that. Things like that do happen. I mean, we're human, so you're going to have guys, these refs, they're regular guys too. I'm sure they're fans of certain teams too, growing up and all this stuff. So there may be bias somewhere. But again, I feel like if the NFL was to script things, right, you would think they would want a majority of different city teams to win every year. Like, you wouldn't want the same team to keep going to the Super Bowl back to back to back, because that's not spreading the wealth of the league. I feel like the league, the NFL, would grow as a whole if one year Kansas City wins, then the next year Miami wins, and then Arizona wins, and then the Vikings win, and then and like there's every year there's just like a different team, or at least every other year you're having different organizations getting a chance to generate income for their city and whatever city the Super Bowl's at. I mean, come on, man. It just makes sense to say that this thing's rigged, man. I just had to do this video before the Super Bowl kicked off because I know there's going to be a lot of talk leading into this. There's a ton of hate right now for the Kansas City Chiefs, which I get, because when you're great, people are going to hate. It comes with being great. We did this same thing against New England Patriots. I mean, I fell in the trap of not liking Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and now I give Tom Brady all of his flowers now that he doesn't play anymore. The same thing will happen with Patrick Mahomes once he retires. Right now, hey, everybody was cool when he just won 1 or 2. But now that he's about to really like break records and he's really like dominating year after year, people are starting to dislike him unless you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, because he's just that good. And we're sick of our team not being able to get to that level because of this one guy that just keeps winning, the main boss. You feel me? That's just what it really boils down to. And that's just how society likes to operate, which is cool. We accept it. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's right. All right. It's all opinionated. But this right here, to me, I think it's factual, because I don't believe that the NFL is rigged. And I don't think there's anybody that can drop evidence down in the comments or put me to an article or somebody admitting that they have an actual script. I know there's a couple BS little interviews where, oh, this former NFL player revealed there's the script and stuff. He was wrong to say, if you are going to go get the one that I think you're going to get, he was wrong. All right. He tried to release the script. It was clickbait. That didn't happen that year. Let me know how you feel in the comments, man. Do you think the NFL is rigged? Are you that conspiracy theorist? If you are, you still my peoples, man. We still rock with you. I'll let your boy.
Yeah, smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gon' do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.